Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas is your pathway to a bachelor's degree. Located in downtown Minneapolis, Doherty Family College offers an affordable education that includes free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaches, and a Metro Transit pass. As a full-time Doherty Family College student, you'll benefit from mentorship from St. Thomas faculty, along with paid internships and support from Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn your dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
Now showing at MIA, artist Mary Sully was a visionary ahead of her time. Born on the Standing Rock Reservation, she worked in near obscurity between the 1920s and 1940s, creating intricate, vividly colored drawings that blend Dakota heritage with modern life. Now on display at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, experience the first solo exhibition featuring Mary Sully's work and see how her art challenges traditional ideas of Native and modern art. Only at MIA and always free to visit. Learn more at artsmia.org.
When we heal from our traumas,
when we face our fears,
let go of our addictions,
when we relearn our values,
when we live our teachings,
respecting our elders,
cherishing and honoring our children,
when we honor and take care of our spirit,
there will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Summer is fast approaching. How will your teens spend their days? Reconnecting Our Roots is a unique opportunity for Native American teenagers from the Twin Cities area. Students will engage in cultural activities and learn about Native histories rooted through Minnesota Makoche in a welcoming environment. The summer session runs July 14th through the 18th at the Minnesota History Center, and a stipend is available for those who attend each day. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. This evening, showers and storms possible. Some could be severe. Overnight low of 42. Then Tuesday, clearing skies with a high of 58. Grab a tray at Cafe Latte and pick from their award-winning selections of soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. Cafe Latte is at Victoria Street and Grand Avenue in St. Paul or at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, any cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Jaga. This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, today's show is a family affair, Haley. We coerced Wendy to come on. Welcome, Wendy.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. You could put my camera on. I did put a little lipstick on.
Okay.
Ooh, Wendy
I just woke up from a nap. I was just telling Robert, like, during the day when you take a nap, it's like the best sleep ever. Like, why is that?
Maybe because it's like, well, especially today because it's dark and cloudy.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like so comfortable and cozy. I didn't want to get out.
Well, not to
So,
get
yeah.
too personal, but it's like somebody turned the heat on in the house too, and it's like really hot and humid out.
Well, it's so damp, to get the
Yeah.
dampness out too. So
Somebody did that.
Yeah.
somebody did it.
You have to turn your
Somebody.
own camera
I
on
don't
too,
know
by
who
the
did
way.
it. I don't know.
Oh, we have our heat on still. I turned it up this morning, actually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. What did you guys do over the weekend? I hope you had a nice weekend.
Well, I did a couple things. Wendy was recuperating from a cold, and Yeah.
Yeah, I still have a terrible cough, and I told Robert, like, the coughing attack still, like, comes on every now and then. So
Oh,
I
that's so
gave him a
great.
hand signal. So if
Yeah.
I said,
I'm paying
if I
attention.
say this, if I do this, then shut it off. So
Right.
Robert
the
has
cough.
frequent sneezing attacks, so
Yeah.
we can
Oh,
relate.
yes.
We can
Oh,
relate.
and they're pretty loud. He's like the loudest sneezer in the whole wide
Well,
world.
yeah, I'll mute, but also Haley has saved me too.
Yeah, you just gotta hop in there quick.
Don't
What is
use-
it with like Native men having the loudest sneezes? Because it's like my dad's the same way, and he'll sneeze like from the opposite side of the grocery store, and I can hear him. I know it's him from like
Yeah.
the opposite side.
Don't get it.
Scare the dog too.
Oh yeah,
When I sneeze.
barking. They think you're barking or something.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, this is like a all family show, and this reminds me of the days when I forced Wendy to be on every day. Remember those days, Wendy?
Yes, I do remember.
Wendy's like, I'd prefer not to.
I
Don't
prefer
bring that
not
up.
to. I think I put it out of my brain. So where's this weather? Like
I
last night
know.
we were watching the weather report, and like
They're so
they came on
scary.
like four, not even joking, like four times,
Scary.
showing us the map with the red. And I went downstairs last night.
Yeah.
I went downstairs and I set up a little tornado shelter in our basement
Under
underneath the
this-
steps. So I
yeah.
put like 2 chairs down there. I cleaned it out. There's a flashlight down there and a blanket and like, like a space to hold our dog. So, just in case. So I guess if the tornado sirens go off, we will abort this show and go downstairs. No, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
No,
Well, I
that's
will abort and take the dog. I don't know about you, Robert.
Or
yeah.
get on the phone and get back on the show.
Yeah.
I remember like 20 years ago, we would have had an ashtray and down there too. And a
Oh my
lighter.
God,
Yeah.
that's
The
many,
lighter.
many years ago. Oh my
Don't
gosh.
forget a little lighter, have a smoke while all hell's breaking loose in the
Yeah.
weather.
When we left the house earlier, we leave our dog at home, Wanda.
Mm.
I know, but when she's left at home, she goes downstairs in the basement. Always. So I was like, well, at least she'll go down in the basement while we're gone, and if some bad weather happens, at least she'll be down there. So
Well, these are the
Yeah.
times too, you guys, that I kind of think about the name that was given to me, and that's Wakunjahade, which means distant thunder.
Mhm.
And we're Eagle Clan. And Wendy, I always like to hear your name,
Hanajihihani
which means,
cares for them.
and Haley.
Oh, Shasha Panwangawaning.
Say that a little bit slower.
Yeah, we're old.
All I heard is
Sha Shashep Hangawaning. Little Eagle Princess.
What did you
Right.
hear, Wendy?
Remember.
What was that?
That's when you're as old as us. It's hard to.
I had a hearing test today.
Yeah,
I went to the audiologist.
she's got better hearing than me.
I have perfect hearing in my right ear, normal hearing, and my left ear is messed up only because I've had like 7 surgeries on it. But it's stable. It hasn't changed, so I'm really happy about it.
Yeah. Hey,
Mhm.
before we forget to, I just want to give a shout out to the code talkers down in La Crosse. That looked like a great ceremony where they're changing that road named Ho Chunk Code Talkers, and the governor was down there, of course, president of Ho Chunk Nation. I went to the Twins game and they won, and then I also went to the powwow at the University of Minnesota. Go Gophers, Haley.
Go Gophers. Go Gophers.
Yeah.
Golden Gophers.
Wendy worked at
Alumni.
the Gophers too. You worked at the U for many years.
U of M, Fairview, M Health,
Yeah.
14 years.
Wow.
They just released, what was that study that I saw where it was like how much land? Because the University of Minnesota bought that land for like very cheap, and they've
Like
gained
$1 and some
Yeah.
beads, I think.
and just like completely profited off of it. There was some
Oh,
report
yeah.
that came out recently.
Yeah, we had her on the show too. What was her name? It starts with the A. Adriana or something like that. I'm making names up as we go.
It was a really interesting report. Well, Robert, you mentioned your Ho Chunk name, Wakanja Thunder.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up because that was actually my Ho Chunk word for today.
Come on.
Wow, that's awesome.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you know this, Whaley. That's Haley and Wendy merged.
Yeah,
Whaley.
combined.
What the heck? I got to mute. We're both talking.
What did you call me before?
No, I'm not going
Harry.
to call that. No.
Harry,
No.
yes.
No.
Harry.
Harry.
Well,
with the last name.
that
You
was
guys-
one of those really shows that I was really sleepy. I think I was working, and I'm not used to working, Wendy.
She-
Probably
well,
not-
going back to our Ho
probably
Chunk
not
of
a
the
good
day,
day to put me on the show.
the Monday.
Go ahead, Haley.
good.
Word of the day, yes.
No, well, I picked Thunder Wakanja because it's been thundering. Wendy, you mentioned too, just kind of clearing out a space in the basement for shelter. Like, even though we were, maybe fearmongered with some of the severe weather today here in the
Called
Twin
mental
Cities.
illness.
I'm not
well-
an alarmist. I'm not really an alarmist. But when they said last night on the TV, like, don't wait for the last minute,
We
you hear the
always wait.
sirens and then you're going down to set up your shelter is probably not a good idea.
And we
Yeah.
usually wait the last minute, and now it looks like at least the Twin Cities is not going to get hit.
Listen,
with
I set
anything.
up the shelter early and now we're not going to get hit. See, I saved us.
Haley saw
It is good. It is good
Haley
to have
saw
that
up
ready.
north on the news, didn't you, Haley? A bunch of hail and people pulling over.
Yeah, well, I thought that the Twin Cities would get much harder already throughout the day, but they did get some severe weather and pretty large size hail up in the St. Cloud area. I know that there was a tornado warning for a little bit in the St. Cloud area. But yeah, I don't know. It's always good to have your shelter, your emergency weather stuff prepared at the start of the spring, because you never know when this weather could come up.
Definitely.
We need some canned items down there too.
Some water.
some vegan spam
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah, you guys.
Jeez.
Well, I saw people too. This was so like in the spring like this. I know we got about a minute left, but people, it's always good to refresh what a tornado watch is compared to a tornado warning. The watch is just that the conditions are right for a tornado to develop, and a warning is that a tornado has been touched down or has been detected on the Doppler radar.
Wow, good one. Now we know that, Wendy.
That's great. Thank you so much for that information, Haley.
Well, the Earth is angry, and I'll just say, they're angry because of the president. So I just wanted to say that
Oh yeah,
on record.
I got
Now,
something to say about him next. after
yeah,
this break.
hopefully ICE doesn't come and take me away, because I
Yeah.
heard they were down the street, weren't they, Wendy, in Highland?
Yeah, Highland in our neighborhood group.
Oh,
Somebody
geez.
saw the ICE trucks. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were targeting somebody or just,
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll be back after the short break. Special show with Wendy Pilot and Haley Cherry and yours truly. We'll be right back.
stay with us.
Everyone wants to maximize their dollar. If you're looking for a new vehicle, the only place to go is Rudy Luther Toyota. Consumer Reports Best of 2025 edition has the most reliable vehicles as Toyotas. The Toyota Corolla, RAV4, and RAV4 Prime top the list of the most reliable cars. And Toyotas are fuel efficient, meaning less money at the pumps. Consumer Reports Best of gas mileage ranking has the Prius Camry, Corolla Cross Hybrid, RAV4 Hybrid, and the Highlander Hybrid top of their classes. Reliability and fuel efficiency, you'll find them both at Rudy Luther Toyota. 5 miles west of Minneapolis on 394.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950. Now showing at MIA, artist Mary Sully was a visionary ahead of her time. Born on the Standing Rock Reservation, she worked in near obscurity between the 1920s and 1940s, creating intricate, vividly colored drawings that blend Dakota heritage with modern life. Now on display at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, experience the first solo exhibition featuring Mary Sully's work and see how her art challenges traditional ideas of Native and modern art. Only at MIA and always free to visit. Learn more at artsmia.org. Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. For Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org.
Dear John, uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. But when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
To get your high blood pressure to a healthy range, visit heart.org/blood pressure. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio. I think we're on. Wendy.
Yeah, no music. I don't know. Maybe something happened to the mothership with the weather.
Maybe the tornado blew away.
Could be. Well, I don't know.
150.
I don't know if there's a tornado warning right now. But I do want to shout out Native American Community Development Institute for sponsoring this portion of the show.
Yes. Hey, welcome back. This is Native Roots Radio, and we're here with Wendy and Haley. And, it's a little scary out there. The sky's a little funky, but,
It's really humid. Yeah, like you said. But
Yeah. I know we are in an active tornado watch, so the conditions are right for a tornado. But I did see before, if you are driving on a freeway or highway and it does start to hail at that when you're driving, just a couple tips. I saw this on the news before we started the show here. Some people were stopping below overpass bridges on freeways like 94 major highways. They were asking people, please do not do that. It's actually very unsafe to stop under bridges. Traffic does not know you're there. And then also, if you do need to exit because of hail while you're driving, you can pull off the freeway from an exit. If you're unable to take the nearest exit, just pull off as far as you can to the right shoulder with your lights on and your hazards flashing. So,
Aren't we proud of our Chujunk? How,
Absolutely.
being on the air for 2 years, and I'm just just really happy.
Absolutely.
I used to want to be a tornado chaser. So
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
I just want to say this one thing before
That's
we get any
exciting. I
further.
would do that too, Haley. I'd be in the truck with you. I'm not even
Oh,
kidding.
don't
Yeah.
lie, Wendy. You're a scaredy cat. I just want to say one thing here real quick, Haley and Wendy. Almost combined your names again. Hail no. I just wanted to say hail no.
No, you wouldn't be doing that. Hail no.
Hail with the hail.
HAIL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hail no.
No swearing. Don't zap us, Patrick. Hey, so we got a lot of things going on again. We was at the powwow. May 1st, it's really coming close here. It snuck up on me, Haley.
I know it did me too. Before we went to the break, you brought up Donald Trump, and I was going to say something about him when we came back. And this is what I saw over the weekend. Donald Trump is not going to acknowledge Indigenous Peoples Day at all. It will be Columbus Day from here on out, as long as he is in.
Well, just to jump in, he's such a whack job. It is still Columbus Day across the country. I don't know what he's talking about. It's just the states that have shared the day of Indigenous
Share
Day.
the day. Yeah.
It's always been so. There it is. Like he's gonna raise tariffs and then
take them back again,
and then say that
And
he's a
give 'em
great
back
and then he's a
again.
great negotiator. And
Yeah.
as the economy goes down the crapper. Can I say
Same thing he did with the student visas. He took them back and deported them, and then he's like, "Never mind." It's like, do you know what trauma that does to people?
It's trauma. That's what he wants to cause. He wants to cause
Shock and
chaos
awe.
and trauma, but it's all like a smoke screen. It's all a smoke screen, and he wants us to worry about all this minutia stuff. And he's doing big things in the background.
Well, it was a big money grab already.
So we got to watch. We got to not pay attention, or pay attention to these little things, but don't get stuck on them, and really look and see what this guy's doing.
Right.
We're in big trouble.
Yeah. Well, and we're in big trouble too, because like you saw what happened with 60 Minutes. The guy that's been running 60 Minutes for the last 20 years quit because of the pressure. Every week they're doing something on Trump on 60 Minutes.
Excellent.
But the bad thing is the executive producer quit because they don't want him to do that, because they want to sell CBS to Paramount and blah, blah, blah. It's all about money. And again, Wendy and Haley, we talked about this so much that mainstream media
Mhm.
has just disappointed us, and that's why people out there, you have to support places like Civic Media, AM 950 here in the Twin Cities, all the other progressive stations that are around the country, because they're the only ones really spitting out the information.
Absolutely.
Truthful
Oh, really
information.
disappointing in mainstream media, and I
Mhm.
remember too, I just gotta tell a quick story about that. It's just like when the presidency was going on, and, we're big Bernie people, Wendy, and,
Mhm.
so Bernie was, like, in 2nd place in this last, not this last election, but the 2020, and, so what did MSNBC do? They they put they put on Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah.
It's like, "Put on Bernie. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?"
Yeah. I remember
But,
that.
it's just subtle things like that that normal people that maybe aren't paying attention see what these networks do, and I've always told you that story about the big protest here in the local CBS affiliate, had a helicopter up, and it was for during Standing Rock, and there was thousands of people out there. Students from St. Paul and Minneapolis were merging over the Lake Street Marshall Bridge, and when we saw that on TV, they said hundreds of people were there, and then what they showed on video was half the crowd on one side of the bridge, as opposed to the 2 crowds that merged, eventually, and made it a huge crowd on that bridge and closed the bridge down. So little subtle things like that really,
Mhm.
really bug me.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
blame you.
Well, we're really lucky to be living in Minnesota, because here in Minnesota, there is a whole month dedicated to American Indians, and it is the month of May. So we're gearing up for that. Come
Yeah.
Thursday, May 1st, is the big kickoff day in Minneapolis.
Yeah, at Cedar Field, and I gotta get up early, gotta make sure Wendy's feeling good, I gotta bring her up some coffee before I go, but it's at, 10 AM, the parade will start, at Cedar Field and then end up at the Indian Health Board between, 12 and 12:30, and gather at the health board for some lunch. I'm into free lunch and, a concert, and then also we'll find out who's gonna win the float award. And Haley, I still think we should get your car decorated real quick.
Oh, I don't know if we could win this short notice. Maybe next year. I remember Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center had a
Yeah.
heck of a float last year. They ended up winning.
Really?
It's
Yeah,
really
it was
competitive
Haley, you
now.
and I are artists. We could come up with something cool and work on it together for next year. So let's keep that in mind.
Make it a
And
big eagle. Make it a big
we could do an
eagle
eagle. I was thinking of an
with some
eagle.
cardboard wings, and I'll be on top going,
eagle.
"Caw, caw." Or no,
That's a
chicken.
good idea.
That's
Or I was
chicken.
thinking like a radio. We could make like a
Yeah.
old radio and do like a
With an eagle
microphone.
feather hanging from it. Oh, wow.
Can you do like a golf cart? Maybe we could rent a golf cart
Oh
and
my
decorate
god.
it
Do
and
a golf.
do that. That would be fun.
Yeah,
I
or
don't think
or
I've seen
borrow
a
one
cedar.
borrow one instead of, rent one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Anyone out
excited
there?
for Thursday. I'm gonna take pictures. I was looking, I was trying to clear some of my memory cards for my upcoming trip to Seattle, and no, they were all pictures from last year's parade. So maybe I can
Oh.
post some before Thursday.
You know what I was gonna say they were from? When,
Mhm.
Rory Wakeup did the Capitol with all those red dresses. I remember you taking a lot
Yeah.
of pictures there that was 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago. Yep.
Wow.
That was like right when I started working on the show. So actually, right about this time, it's about my 2-year anniversary on the
Wow.
show.
Wendy.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks,
Wendy, you're gonna have to
Wendy.
send a little Venmo, anniversary
No,
Venmo.
do not do that, please. Well, I also want to mention too, since May is Indian Month here in Minnesota, there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
There's a group, I think, by MUD, Minnesota, or is it Metropolitan Urban Indian Directors Group?
It's exactly.
Yeah, they do like a whole calendar. I tried going to their website. I don't know if it's updated, but they do have a Facebook group.
Mhm.
People are posting in. Sunday, May 4th is National Day of Awareness for MMIR, Missing and Murdered Indigenous
Oh.
Relatives. Yeah, National Day of Awareness on Sunday. They're doing something at Thomas Beach at Bede-Macoska.
Wow.
Sunday, May 4th, from 2 to 4, people are meeting there for a community 5K. This is a run or walk at your own pace. They're asking that you wear red It's sponsored by Ninny Johnny's One of Ones, Native Women Running, Trickster
Oh.
Tacos, Minnesota State MMIR office,
Wow.
and Four Winds Native Running Club.
Cool. Wow.
Mm.
That's very cool. And that's Sunday, I believe, is the day of the May Day parade too. So that's 200, 300,000 people in downtown Minneapolis doing it up too for May Day is what I think a union day. I think that's originally how it was for unions, I believe. We can look it up during the commercial.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. I know also Saturday, May 14th, they're doing a community pipe ceremony to welcome the return of the bison at the Bellman Conservancy in Afton, Minnesota. This is going to be Saturday, May 17th from 10 to 11 a.m. This is really cool. I visited this group of bison before. I know that they remove them in the winter. I'm not really sure what the process is with that, but they're welcoming them back Saturday, May 17th. So that'll be
Wow.
a cool thing to come see. Yeah, local here in the Twin Cities.
Well, Wendy, we're going deep into May 17th, and then 7 days later is
Bobby's birthday. Robert's birthday. I was like, what's going on?
She shook her head.
I don't have any idea. It's a trick question. Yes,
She shook her head like, I don't know.
Robert's birthday, May 24th.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
65. How old will I be?
Baby
No,
older.
64. 64.
Okay, cool.
You're getting up there.
Right on. I saw my nose hairs. I got a gray hair today.
Oh my God.
Hey, we'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio.
Stay with us, please.
Uptown with a question for our local leaders. How do you reward your employees? How do you appreciate your business partners? Thousands of local organizations just like yours count on Minuteman Uptown for promotional products. We craft custom awards and plaques. We print your logo on apparel, office supplies, and thousands of other items. Minuteman Uptown helps you reward employees and stay top of mind with customers and vendors. We print everything. Contact us today at mpuptown.com.
Women, are you ready to empower your wellness? Join Hypercharge Health and Skin Deep Aesthetics for an inspiring evening dedicated to your holistic well-being. It's Empower Your Wellness, an evening for women, happening Tuesday, May 13th from 6 to 9 o'clock p.m. at 7450 France Avenue South, Suite 240 in Edina. This exclusive event is your opportunity to explore innovative approaches to health and beauty with insights from a panel of wellness professionals. Topics include integrative medicine, personalized concierge care, hormone balance for energy and sexual wellness, aesthetics and body contouring to boost confidence, and support for your mental and emotional well-being. Come learn, connect, and take meaningful steps toward a more vibrant, empowered you. Tickets are just $75, and the full amount can be applied toward a future service. Space is limited, so don't wait. Reserve your spot now at hyperchargehealth.com or call 952-247-4785. Empower your wellness because your health, confidence, and peace of mind matter.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com.
Find a wide selection of outdoor hearth products at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces. Whether you prefer wood or gas, Woodland Stoves has the fire to fit your home. Pizza aficionados know nothing matches masonry oven baking for capturing flavor and nutrition. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces can easily install one in your home or business. Enthusiasts use these ovens year-round for bread making, wood roasting, even grilling.
The mission and passion of Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces is to make the fire work for you. The way humans relate to fire is primordial. We have used fire to warm our bodies, cook our meals, and kindle our spirits. Our team has the know-how to do this in a clean burning and environmentally smart way. Visit our store and experience the diversity. We have over 35 working units on display at the corner of Riverside and East Franklin. See us online at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that fits and works for you.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. This evening, showers and storms possible. Some could be severe. Overnight low of 42. Then Tuesday, clearing skies with a high of 58. Don't miss Sasha Colby's Strip 2 Tour, an electrifying blend of dance, storytelling, and drag artistry at the Fillmore Minneapolis, October 9th. Tickets at thefillmoreminneapolis.com, and listen to The Gately Show and Matt McNeil Show for your chances to win.
AM 950 KTN up, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. And we got Wendy here with us, and of course Haley, our producer, and me, and co-host, and me, Robert Pilot, the host. This is Native Roots Radio. I just want to say, Macho Hodus, that's a place where you take blue clay from, and that's what we call the Twin Cities, St. Paul.
In Ho-Chunk, right? Ho-Chunk
Yes.
language, Macho Horus.
Yeah, right on. So I don't know. Do we have any more to talk about, Haley? Do we have more on the list? Because we're ready to get Wendy in there too, talking about sacred animals very soon.
I want to get to Wendy here. I kind of that's pretty much all I had on my agenda for today. I know I'm gonna be racking up quite a list for American Indian Month events. A lot of the Native organizations will do open houses, so follow them on social media for those dates and times.
Well, I just want to say one thing, too, before we get going with Wendy, is New Native Theater presents The Nut, The Hermit, The Crow, and The Monk. It's premiered the 15th anniversary of New Native Theater, and that is happening on, I believe, you have the poster up. I can't see that.
Oh,
Wendy,
yeah.
can you see that?
May 4th.
Till
Yeah, it
May
goes
4th.
through.
Until May 4th, Wednesday through Saturday, 7 p.m. and Sunday, 2 p.m.
Pay as you can, but, suggested price is $35, but
It
they
is at
want,
the Gremlin Theater.
yeah,
In St. Paul.
and the capital city of
I love the
Minnesota.
artwork on the poster. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, New Native Theater. Give them a follow. NewNativeTheater.org is their
Mm.
website.
Mm-hmm.
I just found it. Do you like that cat there?
I
I
do
love
the
it.
cat on their poster. Yeah, they have great artwork.
Yeah.
On all their
great.
shows. They're really
They're
good.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do have the postcard here, which is interesting. So, Haley, maybe we can introduce Wendy and get her working here because we have a lot of sacred animal portion of the show. We're expanding it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well-
Today we are.
I was talking about something today when Robert and I were having lunch. Robert and I were having lunch today, and I was talking about something that I watched on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
So I was watching Netflix, and after I watch something on Netflix, it gives you the opportunity to rate it. Thumbs down, 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up. So I always, whatever I watch, I rate. And when I turn Netflix on and it comes on my icon, it always gives me options to watch something, and it'll always say, I know you'll love this, you'll love this, you'll love this is something you'll love. And I'm always like, all right, whatever, and I watch it, and I always end up loving it because and it's really amazing. And it's just like
reading your mind.
It is reading my mind. So it's because I rate what I watch, and it kind of knows like what I like. So
And they're reading your mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
this-
consistent with it.
yeah, I am consistent with it. So this documentary film, Paglin,
Ooh.
Pagolin. It's this little animal. I don't know if you know what it is. A pagolin. It's an animal that kind of looks like an anteater, but it has scales all over it, and it's found. Well, this takes place in Africa. I don't know if they're found elsewhere in the world, but they are the most trafficked animal in the whole world, and they use their scales for Chinese medicines, herbal medicines,
fake
medicines, over 60 different varieties. And these poor little animals are poached, taken out of the wild and, killed for their scales and then made into all these different things. But this documentary, oh, there goes Robert. Bless you, doggy. It's so funny. We always say "bless you, doggy" in the house. So, like when I was growing up as a kid, my sister and I, and my mom would sneeze. My sister would always say, "Wendy, doesn't mom sound like a dog when she sneezes?" So,
mommy, not mom.
Any time my mom would sneeze or I would sneeze or my sister would sneeze, we'd always say, "Bless you, doggy." So then
It's a tradition
I
now.
came here and I met Robert, so he started sneezing. I'd say, "Bless you, doggy." And then he was a high school teacher. And when his students sneezed, he would say to his students, "Bless you, doggy." So it's just like, and then when he sneezed, his students would say, "Bless you, doggy." So we just say, "Bless you, doggy." But anyway, getting back to this Netflix documentary film, it's just, so Netflix kept, every time I turned Netflix on, it was like, you'll love this. This should be your next watch, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this, whatever. So I said, okay, I'll watch it. Oh my God. If you have Netflix, you have to watch this documentary film called Pagolin. And it's a story about one pagolin that gets captured and rescued and then rehabilitated back into the wild. And the whole story about the pagolin and the man who stayed with this pagolin for over a year to get it rehabilitated so that it could be re-released into the wild. And it's just an unbelievable, heartwarming, you laugh, you cry, it's just beautifully done. If you've ever watched My Octopus Teacher, thank you for putting that up. Haley put up a picture of a pagolin. That's exactly what a pagolin looks like. They've been around for millions and millions of years, and you could see this. They were around when the dinosaurs were here on Earth. That's how long this animal has been. Like yeah. The sad part is if they keep getting captured and killed and poached, we could lose these animals in our lifetime. So so we have to like really take care of them. And there's many organizations that rehabilitate these animals and put them back in the wild. So I would recommend it. So watch it. And I can't remember, I should have looked it up, whether it was the same people who wrote My Octopus Teacher did this film as well, or the same director or something,
or
but
producers.
they're kind of connected in some way. And it's you could really tell because it is just a beautiful,
heartwarming
story. It really is. It's unbelievable. Robert, I think that you would really like it.
Yeah.
So
you like to see me cry with these.
No, you're not going to cry. You're going to be happy because it's a happy ending, and it's really, really good.
How long do they live?
They live a long time. I don't know. I don't remember offhand. Really good. I know like their weights, they have to be a certain weight to be able to be released in the wild because they have to build up their core muscles, because what they do is when danger comes, they roll up in a ball.
Oh, they're like anteater aardvarks.
They are. And that's what they eat. They eat ants and termites. That's their diet. That's what they eat. That's all they eat. And you learn things about ants too in this documentary. There's all different kinds of ants and how the ants make their,
like my Aunt Barb.
They do. It's really
they can live up to 12 to 13, some even up to 20 in the wild, but in captivity, shorter lifespan.
That's weird.
Yeah, you think that they live longer,
right?
And but no, they don't. Yeah,
like Wanda would live longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What kind of dog is Wanda again? She's a Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
Don't swear. Don't swear.
Yep, she's a Shih Tzu.
Don't you guys are swearing?
Guys. It's a dog
breed. All right. Okay, FCC out there. So what else, Wendy? I know.
Well, it's, spring's coming, and we have all these pollinators starting to emerge from their little nests and things. And there's no flowers yet, so they're like
we're getting close. So we
I
drove by
know.
that tulips garden. Tulip garden.
Yeah,
Is that
so
tulip?
until things start sprouting, what I did was I got a bowl of tangerines. I cut them all in half and set them outside so that I just saw
What?
Yeah, so then the bees
I was wondering
come.
what happened to the tangerines.
There was
Did you do all of them?
Not all of them, just half.
Okay.
So there's so they need sugar and they need water, so they get their moisture and even the flies, like I saw a fly like flying around, it could barely fly. So I was like, I felt bad for the poor thing. And, it found the tangerine and drank some of the sugar water from the tangerine. It really helps them until, the flowers come up. So, you could do that with a apple. You could take an apple and a grater and grate the apple and just add a little bit of water to it. They could sit on top of the apple so they don't drown in the water and they get the
They lick
sugar
it up
water.
with their tongue, right?
Yeah. Yeah, birds could use it and any kind of little animal could use it.
I don't put sugar in my coffee. You know why?
Oh, sweet enough.
Thank you. Wait a minute.
You get bowls of water with pebbles or rocks in it so they don't all these little things don't fall in the water and drown.
That's
we
right.
don't want to drown our pollinators. We need them. We're losing a lot of them. There were bee colonies. Oh my gosh, I should have looked this up. I think they were in Florida. Like 80,000 bees just died. Like they're dying on these bee farms and they're trying to figure out why. So we need our bees.
Yeah. Well, and that reminder too, no mow May.
No mow May.
Oh yeah.
And we've done that quite a few years now, and the things that come up are really interesting out of the backyard. We have a lot of crazy stuff come up there, even though Wendy, now over the years, with you feeding all the animals back there, we have just a menagerie of animals.
Oh my gosh, I took a picture the other day and it was like a wood duck, a male and a female, a mallard duck and a female, 2 rabbits, the chipmunks. Yeah, it was like it was unbelievable.
You're just missing Rocky and
Rocky. I saw last night, the raccoon that comes every night. So Rocky gets mad at him because I threw my food at him. So we buy organic Honeycrisp apples, and they're kind of expensive.
They're really expensive.
They're ridiculously But so I sneak one to Rocky every night. I cut it up with a carrot and I throw it outside. And every morning it's gone, so I know somebody's eating it. So it must be him. And if it's not, somebody else is eating an apple and a carrot. So
hey, are we going to do a Fun Fact Friday next segment?
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm not
Pop
prepared.
Pop that up and see. Haley remembers them all.
Well,
I could definitely do that. Yes.
I would love to know, Wendy, what you know about animals and how they can sense severe weather and what they do, like deer and stuff. I don't know. Where do they go for can they sense tornadoes?
We were talking about that last night.
Yeah, the tsunami, when you watch that tsunami, all those African elephants, in Thailand, they ran for the hills, literally.
Oh yeah. The earthquake too at the San Diego Zoo you talked about.
Yes.
They knew.
Well, maybe we can do some fun facts here at our sacred relative
we'll do
portion.
some. I just want to say 1 or 2 things, and then we'll do a fun fact. How
Perfect.
about that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and it's been a fun day, and we're 2 steps away from going down the basement just in case. We just want everyone to be alert out there, and Wisconsin, you guys are getting hit with it too, so I want you guys alert. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Oh. Summer is fast approaching. How will your teens spend their days? Reconnecting Our Roots is a unique opportunity for Native American teenagers from the Twin Cities area. Students will engage in cultural activities and learn about Native histories rooted through Minnesota Makoche in a welcoming environment. The summer session runs July 14th through the 18th at the Minnesota History Center, and a stipend is available for those who attend each day. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NEI.
Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org. The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Everyone knows I love Rudy Luther Toyota, but do you know who else loves Toyotas? Consumer Reports. They're out with their best of 2025 auto issue, and once again, it reads Toyota, Toyota, Toyota. Of the new 2025 models, Consumer Reports recommends the Prius, Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, the Camry, the Sienna, the Corolla Cross Hybrid, the RAV4, the RAV4 Hybrid, the Highlander, and the Highlander Hybrid. In almost every class, you'll find a Toyota. Find one for yourself at Rudy Luther Toyota, the southeast corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. This is Spirit from Reservation Dogs. Get up and listen.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts.
No. Did you like how I went? No.
Yeah.
No.
Love it.
Oh,
Hey.
Robert's coughing now too.
I know.
Yeah, I just got over a terrible cold.
Yeah. Well, and this is a small studio here at our home. It's getting smaller every day.
Mm-hmm. He used to have a whole studio and an office.
Yeah, 2 studios.
2 studios. Robert had 2 offices.
Oh, jeez.
And he was asked to combine them into one.
He was asked.
He was asked nicely to combine them into one because we needed room for the grandchildren. So now we have a nursery.
Yeah.
Yes, for the grandkids. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Very
from
cool.
Humane World for Animals, I just want to.
Well, let's
put this up.
reintroduce you real quick.
Oh,
I
we'll
want to
have to-
introduce my awesome and beautiful wife, Wendy. Wendy's
Okay.
been an animal advocate for many years, and she's co-founder of Native Roots Radio, which is in its 9th season. Take it away, Wendy.
Hey, everybody. My name is Hana Jihihani. That means cares for them. And I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hana Jinga, which means walks on white clouds. I am a policy volunteer for Humane World for Animals, which is formerly known as the Humane Society of the United States. They changed their name. But we have on April 25th, I just want to put this out there, there's a victory. Dogs and cats in Colorado laboratories will finally get a chance. It was just signed in by Governor Jared Polis, where these animals that were experimented on will now be able to be adopted to the public. So after they're finished with their experiments, yeah, it's really a heart felt thing. It's really like a double-edged sword where you don't want the animals to be experimented on at all. At least I know I don't want them to be, but they are, and many times they're just euthanized after their experiment, even if they're healthy and able to go to homes. So now Colorado will be the 17th state to give dogs and cats in labs the opportunity for loving homes. So I just want to give that a shout out. And that's something, yeah, so that's something like Humane World for Animals works on and lobbies for. Like that's something I would go down, to our state capital and lobby for and talk to our representatives about. Yeah, so I just wanted to give a shout out to Senator Kathy Kipp, Senator John Carson, Representative Manny Rutinel, and Representative Amy Paschal. They all testified in support of the bill. So yeah,
Thank
yeah, it
you.
is awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. So I'm happy about that.
Is
And
Minnesota one of those states?
that's a good question, Haley.
I'll look it up.
Thank you. And I took a nap before the show, and I didn't even know I was going to be on the show till last
You're good,
minute.
Wendy.
So I'm not like
We
prepared.
appreciate you.
Oh,
We love you.
prepared. I didn't get to prepare.
You're a professional.
This is what I thought. The other day, Robert and I are down to one car.
Oh God.
This is since the end of October. I think we're doing pretty good. We haven't had any conflicts. Really, maybe one or two where we both needed the car, and then one of us would be like, I'll just take a lift or whatever. But anyway, I got in the car, and Robert had his station fixed to, I don't even know if I want to say it on the air. I'll say it. AM 830. 830, was it?
WCCO, you mean?
Maybe WCCO. So I just get in the car and I turn on the radio, and there's a host and his sidekick talking about men using purses, man. So for half an hour I'm driving, and this is what the two are talking about, like man purse.
Merce?
Yeah. And then I'm thinking to myself, I should call in because Robert sometimes has a merce on him, and I don't think anything of her. And they were just talking about
what did you call in?
how a man shouldn't wear a merce, or how it's like not masculine and whatever. And I'm thinking to myself this whole time while I'm watching it, listening to this, I'm kind of laughing. It's funny, and they're going back and forth, and their banter is pretty funny. I'm like, but this is kind of like boring radio, but I'm still interested in it. So we do better than that. So even if I'm not prepared, we could just figure out something to talk about.
That was a
I
long
just
Even if
story.
it's a man purse.
That was a long story about us
know.
not being prepared.
I did look up those 13 states that passed that governing law.
Oh, there's actually 17 states now.
Okay.
So that might be older information.
But-
Are we on the list, Haley?
Yes.
Minnesota is. Yeah. So this
Yes,
list was made back in 2021. So
Thank
probably
you.
missed it.
I remember when we were put on that.
Was that 2013, Haley?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great. So, the more states we get, the more animals are, saved. So our director of, World, Humane World for Animals. It doesn't go off my tongue.
We need to
how
put that- We need to put that up
The
there.
Humane Society of the United States. I've been saying that for a million years already. So.
10 years.
Actually, I got a plaque in the mail.
Yeah, 10 years.
10-year anniversary. Yeah, that I've been a policy volunteer for them. Yeah. So now they're Humane World for Animals. So I have to, that's got to come natural to me, but it doesn't come natural to me. But our Minnesota director, I don't want to mention his name, but him and his husband, adopted 2 beagles that were from a lab. And they were released. Yes.
That painting you did
I
was
actually
beautiful. It
painted
kind of,
them. I'm going to show you my painting.
it really
those are
hit
the
me.
dogs?
I think, those are the dogs. Did I show you?
I don't know if
painting?
it'll show up on there because we have the background blurred out.
Oh,
Check
I
it
see.
out.
Well, you know what? I'm going to
Try
hand it
it
to you.
one.
And then, you know
Oh,
what?
yeah. Hand it to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hold on one second.
We're in the same, we're like 2 feet away, but it sounds like, we're in
Oh,
different
here.
studios.
You could just show them there. Yeah. So these are, one's a male, one's a female. They were a couple
Haley, you
of,
want to grab me? Yeah,
they
there
were
we
a
go.
couple of months old. And these are, if you're watching on Facebook, you could see. Yeah.
YouTube.
So I was very happy. It brought me much joy to paint these 2 lab beagles. And they use labs because labs are very a nice little dog. They're good weight. They're very docile type of dog, and they're very trusting.
Yeah,
They're trusting,
definitely.
Unfortunately. So
Just let everyone know too. We're on Blue Sky and YouTube, and so check us out.
yeah, a dog's sense of smell is between 10,000 and 100,000 times better than a human's, but they have just 1/6 of our number of taste buds.
True, that's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that they only had 1/6 of number of taste buds. So I guess we enjoy food more than them, even though they act like they're hungry all the time and want to eat everything, right?
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, dogs?
Yes.
Dogs, yeah.
Okay.
Wanda, she's cray cray.
Yeah. She doesn't have a big variety of different foods that she eats. She eats pretty much the same thing, and she's crazy about carrots. You can't even say carrots around her because she wants them. So here's a funny little story. So we had these 3 dogs. One of them had no teeth. So I would give the 2 other dogs like raw carrots. I just cut them and give it to them so they could eat the hard, cold, raw carrots. But Gracie had no teeth, so I couldn't give it to her. So I would cook her carrots. And then the other dogs came around and they were like, well, she gets cooked carrots. Why can't we get cooked carrots? So they stopped eating their hard, cold, raw carrots. And they only wanted cooked carrots. So they would go over and steal Gracie's cooked carrots. So
Poor Gracie.
Wanda usually gets like a carrot a day. I just put it in the microwave and cook it. And then I have to cool it off. But like while she's waiting, I remember that day. We're sitting at the kitchen table and we're eating and her carrots are in the microwave. The microwave goes off. It stops. It beeps. Beep, beep, beep. She starts barking to tell us that the microwave stopped because her carrots were already in the microwave. Yeah.
You're so smart.
I know. Except when she ate poop, she wasn't very smart about that. Yeah.
That must be the taste bud issue thing.
Right, exactly. Protein or something.
Yeah.
Hey, great. Thanks, Wendy, for being on.
Absolutely.
If you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance in our family. We really appreciate you out there listening to us. We're still here. We are the 7th generation. This has been Native Roots Radio. We'll see you tomorrow.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio.